Hello everybody, this is Jen from Winesterr. This is my first video, and apparently I'm nervous, which is why I sound like a robot. But I'm actually starting these so I can practice the deductive tasting method that the Court of Master Sommeliers uses. Just because when you get to the blind tasting portions, you actually have to taste and identify each wine within about 4 minutes. And I'm pretty sure I can't even describe one wine that I know in 4 minutes, so this always sounds so much better in my head before I get to the video. Maybe it'll be better once I drink this wine, since I'm not going to be spitting, I will be swallowing. Anyway, I'm trying the Cab Franc from Bedell, which is a Long Island North Fork winery. I was actually looking for a Finger Lakes Cab Franc, but my daughter did not want to hang out in the wine store. So I was sort of just like, oh, that one looks good. I've wanted to try Long Island Reds, so there we go. Plus, under $20. Although there was some really interesting looking ones that were far above that I wanted to try. Anyway, there's some corkscrew. Yeah, I'm pretty lazy. I usually don't cut the foil, except maybe sometimes with company. My daughter is finally asleep right now, so I'm guaranteed quiet, theoretically. Yeah, this is my old faithful corkscrew. I think I originally bought like for $10 like 10 years ago when I got my first apartment. Although my mom got a corkscrew, which is pretty fancy. That was like $30 that I kind of have envy, because it also has a cutter, a foil cutter on it. Alright, so let's pour this guy out. I'm going to practice my technique here. Label, facing, oops. Oh yeah, classy. Oh, that was a bit more of a generous pour than I was aiming for. But since we're drinking this, well, I say we, but since I'm drinking this, and we're not going to be spitting it out, like you would if you were actually at a tasting of more than like 2 wines, that's okay. Okay. Oh, so maybe I probably should just give you guys a little bit of an introduction. So the deductive tasting method is basically an organized method that the Court of Master Sommeliers has put together that gives you a step-by-step method that you use over and over and over again that's the same, basically to ensure consistent analysis of all of the different wines that you're trying. And obviously it's also helpful because it relies on analytical and deductive reasoning to actually identify the wines based on the characteristics that you identify as you look at, smell, and taste the wine. Shoot, where'd my pen go? So since we already know what the wine is, basically this is just me practicing getting comfortable with the method, not skipping steps, practicing identifying the smells and flavors that come out in the wine, which incidentally I'm not that great at. I just finished the intro sommelier course, which I passed. Woo! And let me tell you, some of the people that were there, their tasting, just like their skill level was so far above mine. I'm not talking about the master sommeliers that were hosting the class. Like, these guys were like identifying these blind wines down to the region in the year, which granted, after we went through and identified all the methods, it made it seem a lot more approachable, but still, it seemed pretty impressive. So, Anyway, oh, there goes my microphone. Okay, so first thing we do is look at the wine. Oops, I got ace. Wow, this is actually the back of another sheet of paper. I don't really think. Shoot, all my light is over here, so you can't see it. Okay. So, okay, what's our timer at? So I'm at 5 minutes 33 seconds. So let's see how long. Wait, let me write that down. Let's say 5:45. I want to see how long this actually takes me. Okay. So, holding your wine over a white sheet of paper. Oh shit, what did I do? Oh my god, I'm such a space cadet. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so clarity. Say clear. Oops. Brightness. No, honestly, don't really have. Shit, I probably should have washed my glass first. I was just drinking Chardonnay out of this, so. These aren't clean. Oops. Okay, well, so we'll go with bright. Concentration. Say this is deep. No evidence. Gas. No sediment. We're gonna go. This is a purple. And got some garnet with some slight rim variation. Now that's the difference between the center of the wine and the edges of the wine. So basically, like if you tip your glass, probably not gonna be able to see it very well here because I did not set up my lighting that I had set up in here like 3 months ago when I was originally planning on doing these. But yeah, you can't see it, so I'm not even gonna bother. Maybe the next time I'll get my professional lighting set back up in here again. But basically, rim variation is the difference between the color on the edge as you tip your glass and the center. And that can indicate aging or other processes, which I don't really know, but it indicates something. My education hasn't gone that far yet. Okay. Now, basically, extract or stain, and then tears, aka viscosity or legs, is the next thing you're going to look at. So you swirl it, and then you're looking for staining. So this does have some medium staining. Basically, I can see the color of the wine on the edge of the glass, and I'd say it's pretty. I'd say medium minus viscosity. And one thing they did emphasize when we were practicing our deductive tasting is, one, be assertive in your choice and don't kind of wiggle waggle, like mince your words, because when you're under the time crunch of 4 minutes, if you add on, 1 word for every 3 you say, that's 25% longer it's taking you to describe these wines. All right, so we swirl it once, we'll swirl it again. Woo. Oops. Yeah, I have my camera tilted so you can't see our unfinished hallway since we're renovating our house. You can see insulation and wiring since we haven't finished the driveway yet. So that's why I'm like at this awkward angle. Swirly, 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 swishy, swishy, swishy. Can I say it's clean? So there's no faults on the nose, theoretically, that I can smell. And then intensity is moderate. I'd definitely say it's a youthful. aka there's no aging characteristics on the nose, like interesting smells. Mostly my budget as far as my wine careers only allowed me to really taste some young wines, but we did get to taste some really neat older wines that I'm normally used to trying. And I've also, I had a chance to try this, drink this awesome ice wine from, oh God, a while ago, like 2000 something. It was like a rainbow. Oh my God, I'm getting, okay. Anyway, so basically, you're supposed to, the idea is that you can kind of do 2 sniffs. So that one, all I got was alcohol in the nose. Sniffing your wine is pretty important because that gives you most of, this is like your initial indicator for the wine when you're doing the blind tasting, but it is also really important for how you experience wine in general. And I'm pretty bad at identifying these, but we're going to try this again. So you're supposed to kind of do the same thing every time. So like if you take 2 sniffs, then for every wine you try, you should take 2 sniffs. And also, the more and the longer you sniff, the more your nose becomes desensitized to the aromas. Man, that's really faint. I'd say some red, maybe like some faint cherry. Oh, berry, yeah. So anyway, the formula that they had us use basically like so start with your fruits, pick one fruit group. So if I smell red berries, which red berries do I smell? Go through those. If you smell black, and then if you also smell blackberries or blueberries, kind of go through each. And then so on and so forth with the whites. Oh shit, I can't smell anything. I wonder if this needs to open up a little. That might be, kind of thinking this needs to, ooh, swirl, 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 swirl. Oh, I smell freaking alcohol. My unrefined nose. It's big enough, you think I should be able to smell something. Okay, so that time, I actually did get some slate. I have no idea, like, normally I'm not good at identifying minerality, but that one just, like, popped. So I'll definitely put that down. Oops, I forgot. See, this is where I get in trouble. I went out of order, because I'm going by what pops in my nose versus being methodical. But I'm going to put it down anyway. Slate or wet. Almost like a wet. I'm going to keep swirling. I think this just needs to open up some more. The other thing I find interesting about this whole thing of blind tasting or even tasting in general is how much wines change under different conditions. So, like, at these blind tastings, do they let certain wines open up for a certain amount of time first before they serve them, or they just open them all up and then serve them? And like, they have actually done studies, don't quote me on from what source, that you can try the same wine and have it taste different every single time, like depending on environmental conditions, humidity, temperature, what you're drinking it out of, what else you're eating, what other wines you've maybe had before, or if you had that one first. Well, it's pretty interesting how perception of wine changes. And then obviously as wines become oxygenated, as oxygen comes in contact with the wines, it changes. So the red, Damn it, I just can't smell anything out of this. Anyway, we're gonna move on. I'd say almost even a little earthy, smidgen. Yeah, I skipped the fruit character. Say tart, well, tart, tart or sour. Say, what did I say? Cherry. I don't know. I don't really smell any oak, anything, but we'll say no. But since I can't smell anything out of this period, all right. Anyway, on to the tasting. So I definitely think with all of my blathering, we're definitely past. Okay, we're at 16 minutes. What time did I start? We're already at 8 minutes for me. I haven't even tasted this yet. Alright, so now we're going to structure. Okay, so you see, this is a trick I learned. Because sometimes it can be kind of difficult to ascertain acid levels. So if you open your mouth and let your see how much your spit pools, it kind of tells you. It's kind of funny, but so sweetness, dry, tannin. Probably say high tannin. Acid's borderline, but I'd probably say medium plus versus a high. Alcohol. Medium plus. Says a full body. You know what I think part of the problem is? I think this is too warm. I think it needs to be a few degrees cooler. It was like unseasonably warm today. It's like 65, almost 70. And I have been having to chill my reds. I'm gonna let them warm up before I drink them, but I think that's part of the problem. This is just a teeny bit flat because it's too warm. It's cranky. Shit. Seriously, I can't taste anything. Oh shit, you know what? I forgot is I printed out this cheat sheet. Cranberry. I think it's almost a cranberry. Yeah. A tart cherry. Cranberry. Maybe like a black note. Yeah, I don't know what a currant tastes like. What else is sour? Sour strawberry. Everything's sour. Sour strawberry. There's definitely spice on the mouth. It has a little kick to it. It's more like a sensation than a smell. Yeah, so you're really supposed to do this in like 2 swigs. I'm gonna revise my alcohol too high. Okay, I'm seriously tempted to go put this in the fridge. I'm going to actually after this. Does any element dominate the alcohol? But again, I think that's because this is too warm. I'd say it's a medium finish. I don't think I can taste anything right now. This is like ridiculous. Alright, let me go back and smell it again. Okay, now when I smell it, I'm getting like the faintest hint of yeasty. Very faint. Like I just got a whiff of it. Yes. Alcohol. Oh. I'm practicing my different swishing and swushing techniques because you taste differently like when you gargle. I'm not very good at it. I keep just inhaling the alcohol into my lungs. Okay. I'd say moderate complexity, but this really needs to go chill in the fridge. I know I keep saying that, but if any of you have ever had a decent red wine at the wrong, actually any wine at the wrong temperature, it sucks. I mean, it just really, temperature has such a big effect on how these taste. If you're drinking at the wrong temperature, or if someone's ever recommended a wine to you and you tried it, you've been like, ugh. Ask yourself, are you drinking it at the right temperature? Okay. So you can see why I need to practice this, because I suck. Luckily, at the tasting, I was like in the middle, like one of the sections in the middle, so I never had to like actually make a conclusion or start out with the nose, so I could kind of piggyback. But I usually ended up getting nervous and going out. The one, I got so nervous that I accidentally swallowed the wine instead of spitting it. I think the master noticed, and then he just felt bad and did the same thing. So I conclude that I'm drinking this at the wrong temperature, yet doing this after the baby goes to bed is the right time. I don't know. I need to find a tasting group to practice with. Both so I can learn from people that are better than me, and also so I can afford to drink more wines. And if we did a tasting group, we definitely would be spitting, since I wouldn't be able to like sleep over every week in someone's house. Plus, you sort of lose your analytical ability. I was so freaking tired after those 2 days and doing all those wines, which really wasn't anything. It was like 12 wines a day, but my brain was just like, I don't think I'm gonna edit this video. I think I'm just gonna post it. I think maybe as I get a little more in a groove with these, I'll start to edit them and maybe edit for some tidbits. So for those of you, if any of you are watching this, congratulations. Wow, I'm up to 2 gigabytes. I'm definitely gonna have to. This is a 25-minute video of me tasting 1 glass of wine that wasn't even the right temperature to begin with. Okay, I'm gonna go put this in the fridge now.